or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karmakanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, that is Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. But before moving to this session, let me know who are all on the call today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Nita Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for coming in the call and giving your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Dax Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for coming on the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjari Lila Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, all glories Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj's. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Dallas.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. My Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And this is Sushmita from Mississauga, Canada.
Hare Krishna, Shushmita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ramya Mataji. Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Please forgive me, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Take care of your health, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Dandavat Pranam to you, Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anybody else who want to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Akshar Das from Toronto, Canada.
Hare Krishna, Akshar Das Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Braj Mohan Prabhu. But before moving on to the call, I would like to read the introduction of His Grace Braj Mohan Prabhu. His Grace Braj Mohan Prabhu is a monk, a life coach, and an inspirational speaker. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and a resident monk at ISKCON Chowpatty in India. He is a student's mentor at the Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, where he also earned a BTech degree. Prabhuji has a Master's of Science degree in Quantum Physics from University of Illinois, Chicago. Braj Mohan Prabhuji has given seminars on science, spirituality, leadership, relationships, and self-development. He has been speaking on various topics at prestigious universities and at several corporations in the US and in India for over a decade. Using ancient wisdom for current dilemmas, his messages inspires the audience to think deep, act right, and live full. Hare Krishna. So that is the introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Yeah, so Prabhuji, I think he has not joined in the call. So let's move on with introduction. If anyone wants to introduce themselves, please go ahead. If not, we'll chant till Prabhuji comes. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Krishna.
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Ram, Ram.
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna
Prabhuji
Hare
has
Hare,
joined.
Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sanga Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Braj Mohan Prabhu on Canto 7, Canto 7, Chapter 7 and Text 55. Hare Krishna, Braj Mohan Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare-
You will display the verse?
Yes, Prabhuji, will discuss. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, text number 55. Etavan eva lokesmin pumsa swarta parasmrita ekanta bhaktir govinde yat sarvatra tadikshanam. Etavan, this much, eva certainly, lokesmin in this material world, pumsa of the living entity, swartha in the real self-interest, para transcendental, smrita regarded, ekanta bhakti unallowed devotional service, govinde to Govinda, yet which sarvatra everywhere, tadikshanam seeing the relationship with Govinda Krishna. Translation: in the material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained by the revealed scriptures. Purport: in this verse, the words Sarvatra Ikshanam describe the highest perfection of devotional service, in which one sees everything with reference to Govinda's activities. The highly elevated devotee never sees anything unrelated to Govinda. Stavara jangama deke na deke taramurti sarvatra haya nija ishtadeva spurti. The Mahabhagavad, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile, immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 8.274. Even in this material world, a devotee does not see materially manifested things. Instead, he sees Govinda in everything. When he sees a tree or a human being, a devotee sees them in relation to Govinda. Govindam Adipurusham. Govinda is the original source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. I can't really see. I need to go more down. Oh, sorry, thank you. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1. The test of a perfect devotee is that he sees Govinda everywhere in this universe, even in every atomic particle. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastha. That is the perfect vision of a devotee. It is therefore said, Narayana Mayam Dhira Pashyanti Paramarthina Jagadhanamayam Lubdha Kamuka Kamini Mayam. A devotee sees everyone and everything in relationship with Narayana, Narayanamaya. Everything in the expansion of Narayana's energy. Just as those who are greedy see everything as source of money making, and those who are lusty see everything as being conducive to sex. So the most perfect devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, saw Narayan even within a stone column. This does not mean, however, that we must accept the words Daridra Narayan, which have been manufactured by some unscrupulous person. One who actually envisions Narayan everywhere makes no distinction between the poor and the rich. To single out Daridra Narayan or poor Narayan, reject the Dhani Narayan or rich Narayan is not the vision of a devotee. Therefore, rather, that is the imperfect vision of materialistic person. That end the Bhakti, the purports of the 7th canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled What Prahlad Learned in the Womb. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगना परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादा सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। एतावन् एव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसः स्वार्था परस्मृता एकान्त भक्तिर्गोविन्दे यत् सर्वत्र तदीक्षणम्। In this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all for them to see him everywhere, is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained by all the revealed scriptures. Hare Krishna, my sincere obeisances to all the devotees that have joined today for the Srimad Bhagavatam class on the Bhakti Sanga Japa group, and my congratulations to each one that so regularly attends this Bhagavatam sessions, which are the daily boost that take us to these ancient narrations. I often call, there might have been a desire to some of you, or in many of you, for experiencing a time machine. And I say Bhagavatam classes are time machines. That when we hear Bhagavatam, when we sit with an association, we are transported to these ancient epics. And sometimes, you see in this time machine movies, these time machines, they take you to a place where it is very dangerous. It is, you are just now somebody is being slaughtered and you just appear there. Or to those places that are not so conducive for your growth. But Bhagavatam is a time machine that takes us to these ancient narrations that are so helpful for our today's situation. Usually, people want to know the past so that they can make best use of it, and also they want to know about the future. And Bhagavatam also is very futuristic. It takes us to the spiritual realm where how Krishna in the spiritual world is like the Vrindavan Leela. That's a eternal Leela, Nitya Leela that's happening. So it doesn't have a past, present, and future. And it takes us to those stories. And we can see how life is there in the spiritual realm. So therefore, Bhagavatam. So if any of us feel time machine is not yet invented, it was invented way back through the oral medium, through hearing we are transported. And not just we are transported, but we are also transformed.
I think Prabhuji's internet is low. We can wait until Prabhuji join back.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, now we can hear
Am I
you.
audible?
Now,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so looks like there was sudden internet glitch here. And as I was speaking and I opened my eyes, I saw a blank screen. So I was explaining about time machine. Was that part completed before it went off?
Yeah, you are saying we will be transported to that place, something like that.
Yeah. Yes. And not just transported, but also will be transformed by experiencing the narrations and what happens in these stories, different stories. So that's a beautiful gift of Bhagavatam that Prabhupada gave us. And here in this story, where Prahlad is preaching to his student, fellow friends, and it's a very interesting way that it happens. How does the preaching start? It said that let's go back few verses. That although Prahlad Maharaj was born in a family of asuras, he was the greatest of all devotees. Having thus been questioned by his class friends, the sons of asuras, he remembered the words spoken to him by me and
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Prabhuji joined. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Some Wi-Fi issue, yes. I just logged in through my mobile and hope it works. Works fine. Works out fine. Am I audible now?
Yes, Prabhuji, we
Yes,
can.
Prabhuji.
Okay. So I was just explaining that, Prahlad Maharaj invoked a type of curiosity in his friends. And the friends started to inquire that why are you so different? Why are you so happy? Why are you not following the instructions of your father or the teacher? And still you see, you are seem to be very happy. And often in preaching, it's a behavior that attracts people to want to hear us. And if devotees through their sadachar don't inspire inquiries, of course there can be inquiries because of the negative behavior that we may exhibit. But here Prahlad Maharaj, although he was against the principles that were taught, he never opposed his teachers, or not in the sense he never vilified his teachers, or he was against the teachings that were being taught, but he was not vilifying his teachers. And same with his friends. There often when with devotees that we start to hate people for being different than what we are, and there is this insecurity in us, because of which we have to build that wall of distance. Prahlad Maharaj was so full with Krishna in his heart that he was not maintaining any physical or emotional distance, but he was definitely maintaining distance in his heart, spiritually, intellectually, not aligning with them. So it's a very difficult combination which Prahlad Maharaj is displaying because of his great devotion. He inspired inquiry, and also being the first kind of rebel, one of the he was rebellious in a very gentle way, and he disrupted the whole thought flow which all these kids were being taught. All these kids were being taught that it is in being very selfish and trying to acquire as much as possible, that you can be happy. And here was Prahlad Maharaj, who disrupted the whole thought flow, and that's when these children became curious to ask and learn from Prahlad why he is so different, and why he is so happy. So that's a great lesson, that if we really want people to hear us, then first is how do we know what is our behavior, that we are very strict with in following what we are following. At the same time, we are not imposing that strictness, or because of that, it's called as self-righteousness, that we have, because we follow a pure path, often those who are impure, we start to hate them. And Srila Prabhupada also had this great quality that Prahlad Maharaj exhibited. Living among the Bauri with all kinds of unclean habits and impious habits that he's had, he was very strictly following, and he definitely didn't agree to what they were doing. But at the same time, these people in the Bauri felt that this person really cares for us, this person really has some a message for us, and they wanted to hear it. And Prahlad Maharaj also, when he was placed in the this situation where there was not even one devotee to share his thoughts, what kind of struggle he's facing, or to discuss some Krishna Katha. But he was silently practicing his bhakti, waiting for the right opportunity when these school friends of his, become open to seek and understand. And there's an example that's given. Say if a person goes from one country to another country, and if in the other country people don't really know how big he is, and he kind of expects people will give him the same respect or they'll be aware of how great he is. That he is in a foolish world. Sometimes it happens with devotees that in one particular Sanga, we may be very popular, we may be known for our skills, different skills. And then when we go to some other yatra or Sangha, we change our location. Devotees don't really know what this devotee can do, cannot do. So they may not just deal with him ordinarily or just. And at that time, to expect the same kind of treatment, Prahlad Maharaj, when he was in the womb of his mother, there was so much, wisdom, spiritual literature, spiritual talks that Narad Muni was giving, which he was hearing. And he was safe and sound in the mother's womb. And in the mother's womb, he was there not just for some time. It is said that, when there is often this question that is asked, that if Hiranyakashipu did tapasya for 1,000 celestial years, which is almost like 1 lakh or 10,000 human years. If he did 1,000 celestial years of tapasya, then how did Prahlad was born? Was Prahlad born after Hiranyakashipu came back and he impregnated Kayadu? That's definitely not the case, because when Hiranyakashipu was doing tapasya, that was a time when Kayadu was pregnant, and the Devatas, they became very afraid that this mini Prahlad that will come will be more powerful, will be as powerful, and will not be able to deal with two such powerful beings at the same time. So I wanted to put an end to Kayadu's child as soon as he is born. So that situation is ruled out, that Kayadu was impregnated after Hiranyakashipu returned back. And did Hiranyakashipu impregnate Kayadu before leaving for the austerities? Then if that is the case, then within 9 months the child would have been born. And then, Prahlad would have been a very young boy, and there was no possibility that him being kidnapped and she being in the ashram of Narada Muni. So, what is the mystery? There is one, kind of rumors, misunderstanding that, in the middle of the tapasya, Hiranyakashipu came because Brahma and Narada, they took the shape of a parrot and they were chanting Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, in a very irritating way, in a high-pitched tone. And that really irritated Hiranyakashipu, and he came and disturbed, and in the disturbed consciousness, he kind of impregnated his wife, and then he went back. But what was his body when he was doing the tapasya? His body literally in few years was eaten away by the ants. There was only bones that were left. Not even any muscle was left. And definitely one Kayadu didn't have sex with a skeleton. So that story is also not the correct story. The correct story as told in Narasimha Puran and Brahma Bhagavata Puran is that Hiranyakashipu was very disturbed that Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Vishnu. And when he was disturbed, these parrots, Brahma and Narada, had come and they chanted. And in that disturbed condition, when these parents chanted, usually when you're too disturbed, you want to do something that either you eat food or you want to drink alcohol or you want to enjoy sex. So like Asuric kind of like those who are sattvic, when they're too disturbed, they want to go to a temple. They want to do some service. So depends on what. So he came to Kayadu to engage in sexual intercourse in his disturbed condition. And as he was engaging in that activity, he was narrating to Kayadu about these birds and what they were chanting. So the husband and wife were talking, and he was telling this as they were engaged in the act. So when the conception happened, it was at that time Hiranyakashipu was telling about how these birds were chanting Lord Narayan's name. And because of the chanting of Narayan's name by Hiranyakashipu, the great soul seed of Prahlad went into the womb of Kayadu. And then, Hiranyakashipu left for doing tapasya to please Brahmaji. And when he left, then the devatas, after some months, they saw that how Kayadu is getting pregnant. So they immediately kidnapped her, maybe in 4th or 5th month. They kidnapped her. And as they were taking, Narad Muni came to stop. And the story comes in the Bhagavatam. And confirming that the soul in the womb of Kayadu is not a Asuric soul, he is a great Mahabhagavata. Please leave him. It is my responsibility that he will not be a trouble to you, but in fact he will be the means by which Hiranyakashipu end will come. So then Narad Muni, he took Kayadu to his ashram, and as Narad Muni was teaching Kayadu about spiritual knowledge, it is said that Kayadu asked for 2 boons to Narad Muni. The first boon was that, may my child who is in the womb not be born till my husband returns back. And the reason why she asked this boon from Narad Muni, that let my child be in the womb till my husband returns back, were 2 reasons. One reason was being afraid of devatas. Another reason was being afraid of Hiranyakashipu. And being afraid of devatas was because they were waiting for the child to be born so that they can kill him. So she thought, before my husband returns, I don't have any protection. If devatas, or if one of the devatas that goes rogue, and he just doesn't believe in Narad Muni's words, and he just comes and creates some trouble for my child. So better my husband returns. Till then, let the child be in my womb. And second reason that is explained by our acharyas, why she asked the child to be in the womb of Kayadu and not be born, is out of fear of Hiranyakashipu, that if when Hiranyakashipu returns, because of his asuric nature, he will doubt this child, whether this child is my child or not. Because first of all, this child is going to be a devotee. And if he sees a devotee son, he will highly doubt me, saying that this is not my child, but some devata has impregnated you, because that whole episode happened where devatas were trying to kidnap you. So one of the devatas might have raped you, and it may be a devata's child because he is a devotee. How can my child be a devotee? And Kayadu doubting Hiranyakashipu's non-acceptance of the child, she asked that let the child be in my womb till my husband Hiranyakashipu returns back. Because with asuras you can never trust them. With the Vasudev and Devaki also, when the first child Kritavarma, I think Kritavarma, the first child's name, when Kamsa returns the first child, it is said that Vasudev quickly took the child, and still having doubt that this Kamsa can change his mind anytime, because an asura is one who is subjected to influences that are adharmic. So he can get influenced and he can change his decision. So let me take the child immediately. And so Vasudev just like doubted his brother-in-law Kamsa. So here Kayadu doubted Hiranyakashipu, whether Hiranyakashipu will truly accept this child. There is one story in somewhere in, I think, China or Japan. When a child was born, the husband, he put a case saying that this child is not my child. Ye bachcha mera nahi hai. And inquiry was done, and there was a court case, and the wife was saying, no, this is your child only. I am not unchaste. I never met with anyone. And then he was asked, why are you saying that he's not your child? And then the husband said, he doesn't have any of our features. I am so beautiful and she is so pretty. How can the child be so ugly? So the child turned out to be having an ugly face. And seeing the ugly face of the child, the father doubted that how can this be my child, because both of us are pretty. And that time the wife had to reveal that she had undergone plastic surgery before marriage, because she was not getting any proposals accepted, because she was so ugly. And therefore she did plastic surgery. And now she is looking pretty, but the features are all in the DNA, in the genes. So they don't change. And because they don't change, the child eventually reveal the true nature of that mother. And so that's how so sometimes that that what we see is not what it is. There may be a whole mask that is put up. So Kayadu doubted Hiranyakashipu's non-acceptance. So therefore she asked for this first boon. Let my child be in the womb till my husband returns. One is out of fear of devatas, another is out of fear of husband, Hiranyakashipu. Second boon that she asked is that let all the knowledge that you are teaching me be also be learned by my child, and let him never forget this. Let him never forget this knowledge that you are teaching me. And Narada Muni granted these two boons. And because of these two boons, Because of the second boon, the first verse of this chapter says, Uvacha tan smayamana smaran mad anubhashitam. So, having thus been questioned by his class friends, he remembered the words spoken to him by me and replied to his friends as follows. So, usually it is said a child in the womb remembers his past life and he can absorb all that is happening in his environment. If the mother speaks angrily, it affects. The mother eats spicy, it affects. Whatever the mother is watching or hearing, it goes to the child. But it's like a continuous loading of information, and if the hard disk is full, sometimes there is overwriting. So with most of our consciousness, with most of our memory, although even if the mother has heard Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or many things, it does help the child. But many times after the child is born, there are so many other things that are happening that all this may be overwritten or maybe temporarily loaded with other memories, because every day we are soaking in so much memories. And that's why most of us, even if our mothers were very spiritual, we don't remember, even if they heard the whole Bhagavatam. But there are some souls, even that we have in ISKCON, that their mothers were so spiritual, and the children also turn out to be very spiritual because somehow their consciousness is not overwritten totally. And Prahlad Maharaj was especially given this boon because of his mother's prayers, that Smaran Mad Anubhashitam, that he could remember the words of Narada Muni. Else, 5 years usually, most of the children forget what they learned in the womb or what it was. But power of Narada Muni and the prayer of a mother. So these two combinations, prayers of a devotee and power of Guru, they help us to remember the knowledge, and this remembrance was also out of gratitude that Narada Muni need not do this. Narada Muni did this only for my welfare. He was not expecting any reward, appreciation from his father Hiranyakashipu, and nor was he doing this for any other thing other than helping the disciple who was eager to learn. So therefore, in the prayers that Prahlad offers, he says that, who else can I give my life than to my spiritual master, who has taken such great trouble to deliver me? And how can I, how can I ever forget the gratitude, and how can I expect anything else but serving his lotus feet? So when we are grateful for what we are getting, that also gives us remembrance. Therefore, it is called as gratitude is called as kritagya, one who remembers what the good that is being done to him, all the blessings that are coming to him. And Narada Muni, because he gave this time, not just for 1 class, 2 class, for years together, thousands of years, Narada Muni was spending regularly teaching Bhagavatam to Kayadu. So we have a whole Guru Parampara that has shed gallons of blood to give us this knowledge. So therefore, when there is gratitude, then we will not forget. And whatever we have is coming is by the grace and the prayers of our well-wishers. And here in Narad Muni, Prahlad Maharaj is telling the conclusive statement that understand that anything else except serving Govinda, Bhaktir Govinde, is a waste of time, is a mockery. It is not factual. And that's why in the previous verse also, he says that and to revive this knowledge, anyone can do. It is not that, okay, I am a Rakshasa, I am a this or that, I cannot revive. Just by accepting the principles of Bhakti Yoga, anyone can revive this, our spiritual consciousness. So, and he says that Tatau Haro Bhagavati Bhaktim Kuruta Danava. Just like we take the way we take care of ourselves, when we understand our real self, our real interest is in Krishna, and we are all parts and parcels of Krishna, we start to serve Krishna, and pleasing Krishna is not a show, and just learning some big things or building some big machines is not what pleases Krishna. What pleases Krishna is to have unflinching, unallowed devotion in the Lord and the sincere desire to serve and please Him. And without that, all our life we are trying to impress others and this world and get a position, a pose of control. But what a devotee wants is that he knows that my swartha, my true self-interest, is in parasmrita, is in remembering Krishna, ekanta bhaktir govinde. And to have this very exclusive dedication to bhakti is what Prahlad teaches us without being fanatic. So he was very exclusive that only bhakti to Govinda can give us. At the same time, he didn't, had hatred towards his friends, and because of this great combination, he was able to transform the hearts. And in the next chapter, we'll see how Prahlad's, transformed all the hearts, and everybody in the school was chanting the holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And they were chanting Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And so one class, one session with a pure devotee had so much power. And that's the way we see when Prabhupada went to so many places. In Russia, he just spent 3 days. And, he changed the destiny of Russia by just changing one soul who came to him. And he gave such time and concern to him that that person, Ananta, what is the name? Ananta Shakti Prabhu, literally, became the via medium for Prabhupada's mercy to spread all over Russia. So therefore, we are very fortunate. We have so many great souls who are giving us the time, who are here on this planet. Of course, we are slowly seeing that many of these great souls are coming to their end in this material, in this body that they have. And we recently saw how one of the greatest foundations of preaching in India, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, how he left us and how it left such a vacuum. And the more we were hearing his glories, we were feeling more and more wish I could have associated with these great souls. So therefore, and they have this power to be able to transform the consciousness from totally being selfish to being absorbed towards Krishna. And then we'll be able to see Stavara Jankama Deke nastha. That wherever we see, we only see how can we serve Krishna, how can I become more and more Krishna conscious, even if it is our work or our studies or anything. And we start to see how Krishna is pervading everything, and that which is the perfect vision that we can have. And Prahlad, Prabhupada says, Prahlad saw even in a stone Lord Narayan. And the story, there is a story that goes that, just 3 days back, Prahlad was thrown off from the top of the mountain into the ocean. And Lord Vishnu saved him. He brought him to the shore, and he was being, and then Lord Vishnu told Varunadev to nurse him. And as he was being nursed, Prahlad woke up and he saw this, very great, very divine being. And first he thought it is his Lord. And then Varuna clarified, I am not Vishnu, I am Varuna. Lord Vishnu has stationed me to take care of you because you are unconscious. Because when he was thrown, for a while, the Lord does test his devotee whether he truly remembers me or not. And when he was exclusively remembering Vishnu, even when he was drowning, when he was almost at the brink of death, that's when the Lord saved him. So he was unconscious for a while, and then when Prahlad came to consciousness, and Varunadev explained, then Prahlad was feeling very, very sad that he is not able to see Vishnu. Although Lord Vishnu is helping him, he is not qualified that Lord Vishnu is directly coming in front of him. And then he glorifies Varuna, that you are also fortunate that you get to see personally the Lord, and you're serving the Lord in such by taking care of this ocean life and so many things. And he becomes very, very desperate to see Lord Vishnu. And his great desperation, that great greed, intense hankering, it is said that Prahlad again falls unconscious. So first time because of the water and other things, Prahlad falls unconscious. Second time, because of that intense hankering and lamentation that he is sinful, that Prahlad falls unconscious. And it is said that in that intense hankering and lamentation, Prahlad was completely purified. And there is also a verse in Dhruva Maharaj story, where Dhruva Maharaj hears the voice of Lord Narayan. I don't recollect that verse. If someone can pull up that verse. And Lord Narayan says that you are not completely purified now, and you please do practice Bhakti as taught by Narada Muni, and eventually you will get purified, and then you will be able to witness me. So Lord Vishnu, he appears to Prahlad Maharaj 3 days back, before this episode happened, on the banks of the ocean. And many say that is the ocean of the Visakhapatnam, where Simhachalam deity is there. And that's when Lord Vishnu showed him the form in which he killed Hiranyaksha, and the form in which he will kill Hiranyakashipu. And he said, in exactly 3 days, I will come in this form. You don't worry. And you will be severely tested by your father. So please be assured. So because Prahlad was given this promise and he saw Lord Vishnu, therefore when Lord Nrsimhadev appeared, it was no more a surprise. And therefore when he was asked, even before that he had full conviction, but now that he has faith in the words of the Lord, just like devotees needs to have faith in the words of scriptures. Prahlad Maharaj had great faith in Lord's words, and therefore he said, yes, my Lord is in the pillar also. And then when the Lord appears, then there's a beautiful form of Lord Nrsimha, Stambe Savayam Namrugam Namanusham. And there was a discussion in our brahmachari group that why did the Lord take this specific form, half man, half lion? He could have taken any half forms. He could have taken half vara, half lion, so many. And acharyas have elaborately discussed this, that why no other form would have been appropriate for killing, because to fight with a king, you need a king can only fight with another king, and the king of the jungle is the lion, and therefore the lion form. And because the Lord was fighting to keep Brahma's bones also intact, he came in a Manushya roop, in a Manushya, half lion, so that all the Devatas and Hiranyakashipu, Lord Prahlad Maharaj could also relate to it. Of course, it's a long discussion about all the different possibilities and all that. Some Sri Vaishnava Acharyas, some Gaudiya Acharyas discuss that. But the ultimate conclusion is no other form that the Lord chose. Lord could have chosen, and it is his choice. Whatever choice he makes, that is always perfect. But still, sometimes devotees do try to wonder, why did Krishna close his eyes when he saw Putana? Same way there is a discussion, why did Lord come in the Simharupa? Another reason is, Hiranyakashipu was doing Vaishnava Aparadh. And Vaishnava Aparadh is considered to be like an elephant offense. An elephant can only be conquered by a lion. And so same way, if you do elephant offense, Vaishnava Aparadh, then Lord Narasimha will come and he will destroy you. So like this, there are a lot of discussions, but it's a very sweet pastime that gives us so much hope and support that the Lord is there to protect us. We need not worry. And herein we see how Prahlad Maharaj is sharing that complete security that he is having with also his friends, whomever is eager to learn from him, and his behavior is inspiring such kind of inquiries from others. So I'd like to stop here and see if any devotees have any comments or questions. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. What a wonderful class. You gave very nice recap of how Prahlad Maharaj was born and various reasons, like how we think. Yeah, I had few doubts on that also previously, but I think in your lecture today, I got revealed like how it has to be, how it is, how Prahlad has been born. And certainly, yes. And also, I like that point where Tayati says that his son has to remember everything. And also, you said that in the womb, the soul prays that he should not forget the Lord, right? So, but is that is for each and every soul, or a soul who is meant to be a devotee only prays like that, Prabhuji? I have this doubt.
Well, in the Garbhastuti, it is said that which is a general condition of a soul in the womb, especially a human child, does see is all his past activities, and he remembers how he has betrayed his beloved Lord. So that's generally true for everyone, but I cannot say that it is specifically every soul goes through everything. If he is open enough, that I'm sure if somebody is too clogged by some intense emotions from past life, maybe they're not allow him to see everything of the past. But we do take that every soul does feel remorse for the last, how they led the last life, and they want to connect to Krishna again. So it is true for all.
So, Prabhuji, what I understood is that you're saying that it's not every soul will pray to the Lord. That's what you're saying, or how, Prabhuji? If the soul, go ahead.
It is like, it is like saying everyone that goes on the platform will catch a train. That's a general truth. You go to the same way, the general situation is that every soul that comes is, the whole mechanism is that he's shown his entire biodata before he goes to the next. But specifically, say someone goes to the platform, he may choose not to board the train. So that's why it's a general truth. It may not be specifically true for every soul based on his karmic condition. If it's something he has occupied his mind too much from the last life, that may not come. But what is told to us is in the Bhagavatam, the general conditions.
Okay. So it's if the soul is too much attached to the karma kandis activity, then it won't have the chance to remember the Lord even in the womb also. What the understanding is. Okay, it's like that. So, but then, Prabhuji, then how that the soul again will get the human form? Because only if the soul has done some Krishna conscious activity or any pious activity, it will get that human form, right? So this soul, even after getting that human form, how, first of all, how it is getting, if it is not having that attachment to the Lord, then so that is the question, Prabhu.
Yeah. See, human form is not only given to someone who is a devotee. It is based on the karmic cycle. One is the karmic cycle. That in the karmic cycle, you cross through the whole 84 lakh species, and now the turn is so that you get a human form, irrespective of what level of consciousness, what karma you carry. Another is you do some activities like you take prasad. Somewhere a person, a living entity eats some prasad, and the boon for taking prasad, at least you'll get a human form. So both conditions are there because of the natural cycle of one gets a human form, and sometimes because of some sukriti he gets a human form. And also that is there, Krishna says, a yogi who has not completed his bhakti, again he gets a human form so that he can complete. So in these three situations, we get three types of consciousness of people that take birth, even as a human being.
Okay. So, but still, even if it takes birth, that's no guarantee that he will remember the Lord, right? As we see in the case of Bharat Maharaj, I don't know how far it is, because for such a great devotee, it's happened. But what to speak of a conditioned soul like us? So I was just thinking.
So we have to become completely purified before we go back to Godhead, and just like when we when a rocket ship, if a vehicle, when a cycle is going, even if cycle has some defects, you can still take the cycle ahead. But the more long you have to go, the more proper the vehicle has to be, the more purer the fuel has to be. So for a soul to launch to the spiritual orbits, it has to have that complete momentum. So, and if it is not there, then there will be a bigger accident than what will happen with the cycle. With the fuel, if the fuel is impure in a rocket, then there will be a blast. But Krishna gives us that assurance that Apiche suduracharo bhajate mamam. If your intention has been good to practice, even if there is accidentally or because of wrong association we do deviate, Krishna does give second chances. He doesn't just make us fall down. But that stories are there. Chota Haridas Thakur story, Bharat Maharaj story, Ajamil stories, to warn us to not take path of bhakti lightly. That however I practice bhakti, I will go back, to make us more serious.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for clearing on that. So we have questions, hand raised, Prabhuji. So Alisha Israni Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for your wonderful class. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, Prabhuji, my question is you said that Prahlad Maharaj was tested for whether he has exclusive devotion, and I was thinking about being being a Baddha Jeev that we are. Since time immemorial, we've been taking shelter of fallible soldiers, fellow Jivas, and it's very spontaneous. Like a mouse will be attracted to a mouse, like in whatever species we are, we tend to be attracted and look for comfort, shelter in that species. So being a Jiva and a Baddha Jeev who was completely covered, I was always taking shelter of fallible soldiers. So for suddenly to reach that level of Ananya Bhakti, there's doubt also that whether Krishna will also accept or not. And secondly, there's not even that faith and inclination, and that propensity to love has been misdirected since a long time. So how do we shift it?
So the Kriti Sadhyat, so Krishna also says in the Gita also that Atma Vasher Vidya Atma. Krishna says, don't be impatient. The two things that happens in path of bhakti, either we become restless or we become hopeless. Restless in the sense we want Krishna bhakti so much, so immediately, so with no time allotted, that we become very restless, just like a child. Like Prabhupada says that when the child it gets admitted in a college, he cannot immediately get a job. He needs to wait for 4 years, study very diligently. Or he gives example that when uh, when a lady gets husband, she cannot expect child next day. She has to wait for some time before the child can be born. So same way, so sometimes there is restlessness that we don't understand how much there is purification that is needed, growth that is needed. Another is that we become hopeless, that the path of bhakti seems to be so high that we just put off our attempts only. So these are two extremes. Either we become too restless, try to chant very intensely, and become very fanatic about our practice of bhakti, and we try to neglect other things, or we become hopeless. I don't know when Krishna bhakti is going to come. Better I enjoy this world only, and try to be in the good books of devotees, good books of Krishna. Krishna, I'm chanting. So don't take me out of the register. I'm in the register, but but we should understand that Krishna says Atma Vashya. Krishna is happy with our efforts, and if our efforts are sincere, then and then if we are as much serious as possible according to our capacity and follow the principles, then we see in the lives of all these devotees how they achieved. There was one devotee in Russia who just before passing, he shouted to devotees, who said, the process works, it works, and then he died. So So bhakti works, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur says the result of bhakti is only known at the time of death, and we do see how Krishna says in the Gita also, Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Puta Madbhavam Agata. In the past, so many souls, by practicing bhakti with two elements, Jnana and Tapasya, we cultivate spiritual knowledge and we also practice some restraint from all sense gratification. Many devotees have come in the past. So it will happen, but it will take some time. So better we be in the association and happily, and Susukam Kartum, Krishna says, even the waiting process is a joyful process. Yes, we are sad about our situation, but at the same time, we are glad that there is so much support, so much, care that is there in the association of devotees. So need not be, too worried about this. I will have to stop here now. I have a meeting with scheduled at 6. So I will take any questions, maybe on WhatsApp chat. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Sorry, Jyoti Mataji. So your questions will be taken next time, or probably, as Prabhuji said, you can ask in the chat also through Shamagori Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Shamagori Mataji, you have to say something?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful class and association. But you have to go, so I cannot ask question or something.
Thank you, Mataji. Because 6 o'clock was scheduled for a meeting with Radha Gopinath too. He's just messaged me to send Zoom link, so I have to shift my Zoom.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again for coming on the call and enlightening on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, and very nice explanation about the soul and this process of bhakti, how we have to come and go ahead. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that. So devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vanja kalpatrapasya
Vaishnavamebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you,
Radhe
Prabhuji.
Radhe.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Gauranga.